Hello, welcome back to RetroBreak and welcome to another anniversary video. Last week I did Zelda and this week I'm doing Pokemon because it's the 25th anniversary. I've got all of the different generations laid out on the table in front of me and I've got some fantastic memories of every single game in the series, and stay tuned because halfway through I've got a really special guest coming on this episode as well. So before we get started, don't forget to check out my channel sponsor Bifrost Bridge Studios. I will put a link down in the description below. Go and check them out, go and support them over on Patreon to be in with a chance of winning one of these amazing modded consoles. And you've got really good odds at the minute because there's not that many people on there yet, so get in there while you can and win yourself some amazing prizes. So I've got loads to cover in this episode and I can't wait to get into it, so let's get started. So Generation 1, the games that started it all. We have Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, and Pokemon Yellow. I remember I got Pokemon Blue very near to the launch, if not on launch day, and I was already a huge fan of the games. Of course, growing up in the UK, every day after school I would come home and watch the Pokemon cartoon, and I absolutely loved it. I actually even found some of the original drawings that I did from way back then, so have a look at these over here, they're just hilarious. I did improve quite a bit later on though. Here's one of my later Pokemon drawings that I did a few years ago. So as for the games, I fell in love with them. I had Blue and my friend at the time had Red and we would play through it together. I actually played it a lot on the SNES using the Super Game Boy because I really liked playing it on the TV, and I remember I loved the music so much I would just get to one of the routes and just turn the TV up and just listen to the music while I was doing something else. It was such a fun series of games. I loved the trading aspect, I loved the training up of the creatures as well, and I just loved everything about Pokemon. A few years later I got Pokemon Yellow as well, and of course that one follows the anime a bit closer. There was also two different remakes for Generation 1, so we have Fire Red and Leaf Green, which I've got here. I don't know where my box for Fire Red's gone. These are two great games. I actually replayed Fire Red recently, and of course this one introduced the wireless adapter to allow you to trade wirelessly. I remember having a great time with those remakes back at school. And then of course, more recently, we have Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu on the Switch. I did enjoy these, but they very much dumbed the experience down. It's so much easier than it was back then. I just whizzed through these games, no problem whatsoever. But I think for people who are new to the series, these are two really good starting points. And now Generation 2, and quite possibly my favourite generation out of the lot. This is Gold, Silver and Crystal. I only have Silver here, and for some reason my label has completely disappeared, so I don't know what happened there. That is just so weird to me. I don't know why it's completely clear like that, but I love the fact that the cartridge is actually shiny. So you can see there, it's kind of actually got like glitter in the cartridge, which I thought was really cool at the time. And I thought the games were really cool at the time as well. They're definitely two of my favourite games in the series. I loved all of the additions to the game. I loved the fact that it was in colour for the first time. Proper colour, not like what they did with Pokemon Yellow. This one was in full colour, and at the time I just got a Game Boy Color, so I was so excited to play these. The fact that it also has Kanto at the end of the game, and you can go back and re-experience going through the original Red and Blue game on this. It was just a mind-blowing thing at the time. To find out that the game's like twice as big as I thought it was, completely mind-blowing. The games themselves are really good too. I loved all of the new towns. I loved the new additions to this game, like finding all of the unknown, finding all of the different letters that they spell out. Using the radio was a really cool feature. Going to Goldenrod and experiencing the huge city and just loving everything about it, and it's definitely right up there with my favourite games in the entire series. Of course, it did also get some remakes, so I've got Pokemon HeartGold here, which is by far the best remake out of the bunch for me personally. In fact, leading up to this video, I've actually been playing it again, so as you can see here, I've literally been playing it non-stop over the past few days. There's my team there. I'll do some close-ups so you can see, and of course, to show just how much of a Pokemon fan I am, here's my really nice Pikachu Edition 2DS XL as well. So I absolutely love HeartGold, I absolutely love Gold and Silver, and Crystal of course, and they also got re-released a few years ago on the 3DS, or quite a few years ago now. So these are the re-release boxes. They actually contained download codes for the Virtual Console versions of these games, and I did get all three of them, and I played all three of them as well, and I absolutely love the games. Now the next 3 in the series, Generation 3, we have Ruby, Sapphire and Emerald. So I didn't actually get any of these 3 games at launch. What I got instead off eBay, which I was very excited about at the time because eBay was all new and shiny for me, I actually got this copy of Pokemon Ruby instead, which, as you can see, compared to an official copy, is very much fake. And if I remember right, it was either this or the fake version of Emerald that I picked up a bit later on. It was really badly translated from Chinese, but at the time I didn't know any better and I was still excited to play a brand new Pokemon game. Of course, with it being a bootleg, the save file died after just a few days, and I was quite surprised to see that some of the NPCs were actually swearing at me. But it didn't stop me enjoying the game, and when I'd saved up enough pocket money I did go back and buy the proper version. So that's just a nice little memory of Ruby and Sapphire, and I really do love these. These are maybe my 2nd or 3rd favourite gen out of the entire series. And of course, just like the earlier games, they also got a re-release, this time on the 3DS. So there they are, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and those 2 actually came with these really nice steel books as well. So there's this one here for Omega Ruby, which is really nice, and there's this one here for Alpha Sapphire as well, which is also really cool. And I really enjoyed these remakes as well, although I do prefer the sprite work of the DS and the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games over the 3D models that they went to with this series going forward, but that's something I'll cover a little bit more in a minute. And the final gen before I get my special guest on for this episode, I didn't actually have Diamond or Pearl for the longest time. I actually played them using an R4 card for the DS, which I'm not proud to admit, and I do think it hampered my enjoyment of those games slightly because I didn't actually put any of my own money into it, so I didn't really feel like I needed to play it as much as some of the earlier ones. But I did get Platinum and I absolutely loved Platinum. I think this generation is one that I've played the least out of all of them, and it's one that I would like to go back to, and I really do hope that Generation 4 gets a remake for the Switch so that more people can go back and experience these games. I do have some really fond memories of playing the game back at school. I remember playing it nearly every night on a school night under the blanket with my original DS, just playing through this game, doing all the mining sections, tapping on the walls, getting all the stuff from there, and I just loved the atmosphere of this game. I loved the music as well. That's definitely one of the things that sticks in my mind when I think about Generation 4 is the amazing soundtrack. So now with the first 4 generations out of the way, I'm going to introduce to you someone very special to the rest of my Pokemon journey. This is Risuchu. There we go. I had it backwards. Okay, here she is, Risuchu, and I couldn't not get her on this episode because since we met about 10 years ago, Pokemon was already a big part of my life, but since then it's become so much more than that, and now we've moved in together, there's just Pokemon everywhere, so I thought it'd be great to get her on the show and to tell you guys some of her experiences with the series, and then some of our joint experiences with the later games. Okay, so before we get into generations 5 to 8, let's just give a little bit of background to Risuchu here. So which Pokemon game did you start with originally?
Well, actually I saw my friend play Pokemon Yellow on the N64 and I thought, what is this? I need it.
That's why you had this out.
Ah, yeah.
The transfer pack.
And so I begged and begged my parents so that I could have Pokemon Yellow, but obviously back in the day money wasn't like, well, it's not easy, but you know.
Money's never easy.
Money's never easy. But there was a rental shop that rented out Pokemon Red, and I rented it out like a lot.
So basically you rented it so much you probably paid for the game anyway.
I probably paid for it like 5 times over, yeah. So yeah, I completed Red, I completed Blue, eventually got Yellow, and I remember being a little kid in the back of the car like, it's only £30. It's like, that's 3 tenors. I was good
3
at
tenors.
maths. And then I didn't have Game Boy Color for Crystal, and I bought it for my Game Boy.
No, you can't play it in the original, can you?
But you could play Gold.
You can
on
play
the original,
Gold and Silver
but when
on
it
the
came
original,
to Crystal,
but
you
not Crystal.
couldn't. And but on Pokemon Stadium 2, which I made sure I got, I had a little money.
I've got that
I had a
back here
shoebox. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, like I had a money box and just like put all the coins in it so I can have this when it came out.
That was an expensive game as well. N64 games were expensive.
And God knows how old I was.
Like 5 or 6 tenors.
6 tenors, yeah.
6 tenors at
and
least.
it came with a pack and it was great. I could play Pokemon Crystal.
So that was the first 2 games in the series. Do you want to say where you started with Ruby, Sapphire or Emerald?
That's actually my favourite gen, is Gen 3.
I still can't decide.
I think it's because I love the environments in Gen 3. Like, it was a shock to go into... Well, you go into a volcano, you have ash raining, and I love volcanoes. Then you go into a rainforest, which I thought was really cool. And then you go into water.
Too much water, 7 out of 10.
That's not cool.
I know you don't like Gen 4 as much as the other three, but what are your memories of Gen 4?
Platinum is the only one I played from Gen 4. It got to a point where, like, all my friends had grew out of Pokemon, and I thought, okay, I'll try and grow out. Maybe I gotta think of growing up.
No. Never grow up.
No.
Never grow out of Pokemon.
Advice. Enjoy what you enjoy.
Enjoy what you enjoy.
Don't worry about other things.
Don't worry about bullies, basically. So, now we're moving on to the games that we actually played together. So, Gen 5 now, Pokemon White. This was the first one that came out while I was at uni, and the amazing thing was that all of my friends also got this game the day it came out, and I had so much fun playing it with everyone. We would meet up every week at our anime club. Yes, that's how much of a nerd I am. And we'd all sit there together and trade Pokemon and stuff, and it was fantastic. And then the year after, of course, Pokemon Black and White 2 came out, and by then I'd met Risuchu, and this was the first Pokemon game that we actually played through together. So, what do you remember about getting Black and White 2?
I remember you didn't name your rival me. And I was
okay,
very
there's a good reason. There's a good reason. Every single Pokemon game up until that point had always named my rival Jack after my friend from school.
Even if it was a girl.
Even if it was a girl, even if it was a guy, it didn't matter. It was always Jack. I named her Jack in this one.
I probably named mine yours because I thought, yay, this will make him feel extra special.
She named hers Nick and I named hers Jack, and she's like, who's this Jack?
I already knew Jack at that point.
Yeah, I think you did, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember we spent all day and all night playing this when we got it, and absolutely loved it. There is one very sad story. The fact that I forget to save when you reach a legendary in this one. You find them in the wild, is that right? So
I could tell you the story because you probably forgot how you did it.
Okay, so I've blanked it from my memory because I'm just so stupid, so go ahead.
So you have like the legendaries. This one was Virizion.
Virizion, the green, like...
The green...
Goat?
Pointy
Not goat, is it?
Hoof.
What would you call it? I'll put a picture of it here. Whatever this is.
And Nick, for some reason, doesn't have the... I think it's just 100% natural to like, oh, legendary, better save the game, and then encounter.
For me, I'm just, oh yes, legendary, let's go fight it.
He goes to fight it, and then he knocks it out, and he's like, oh no, what do I do? And like...
By the way, we'd been playing it all day at this point, so it'd probably been like 5 hours since I saved last as well.
But yeah, like, and I just asked him, did you save the game?
Of course I didn't.
Oh, no, I didn't. He saves the game after killing Virizion.
After killing it and not catching it. I never lived that moment down, still to this day.
The reason that you wanted Virizion was to unlock Keldeo.
Yeah, I really like Keldeo, actually. He's really cool. And by the way, I still haven't learnt my lesson because I'm replaying HeartGold right now and I didn't save before getting to Ho-Oh. So I got laughed at the other day as well, so I still haven't learnt my lesson like 11 years later. So Gen 6 now, Pokemon X and Y. Risu got Y and I got X. We got them both on launch day. So what did you think of X and Y? To be honest, from my point of view, I thought they were way easier than the other games in the series. I just whizzed through this one. We were talking about it earlier, and I think it's because they introduced fairy types, which just completely obliterated everything. I played through the entire game with just, what's that Pokemon? Sylveon.
Sylveon.
Yeah, so I got Sylveon, and I played through the entire game just moonblasting my way through every single fight, every single gym, just moonblast, moonblast. And I completed the entire game in about 2 days, and I got Sylveon all the way up to level 100 with like no thought put into it whatsoever. But what was your experience with Pokemon Y?
Well, it was the first 3D
That's true.
Pokemon game, and I was...
What did you think about the graphics?
I was blown away. I loved like the different styles of trainer. I can't remember if this is one like you change clothes, but
I think it is, yeah.
It just meant like better sceneries, like they could make things more cinematic. It's just nicer.
Yeah, that's something they started with Black and White, is trying to like move the camera around different environments. Like I remember on this one there was a bridge and there the camera spins around it and you get to the city and
like
it's
the
all like
cutscenes
3D.
were all 3D.
But this one was the first time it went into like full 3D with the sprites being replaced by 3D models, which I guess was really cool at the time. Although I did find it really easy, so maybe I should try a Nuzlocke and play X and Y again. Make it a little bit more challenging on myself. I hate to say it, but we have my least favourite gen. This is Sun and Moon, so maybe Risu has some different ideas compared to me. So a really great memory that I have from when Gen 7 came out was that me and Risu actually got invited to go to London to the launch event for the new games, and I actually picked up this really nice 2DS special edition from there, and we had a great time at the show. What did you think of that?
It was great. I've forgotten his name now. The artist was the guy that designed the Pokemon.
So we actually got to meet the artist for the Pokemon games, which was amazing.
Yeah, we ran out of time because this event was in the evening.
We had to try and get the train back, but they could only sell this after a certain time because it was actually the day before the games officially came out, so we had to wait to get the games. And then we couldn't really hang around after that, could we? So we were like running back to the train to try and catch it to get all the way back here from London. So
do you remember any of the competitions? Because I remember I won 2
Yeah, there was all sorts of things. So there was like was it coconut shy where you have to throw the ball at the coconut?
Oh yeah.
There was a fishing thing. I can't remember what the other ones were. I won a Rotom notebook which had like Rotom on the pictures. What did you win? Was it the same thing? And I actually did a video on it back then, so I'll put a link down in the description below so you can go and watch that. It was quite a few years ago now, but it's really, really good and it's definitely worth going to have a look. We had a great time there. About the games, what did you think of Sun and Moon?
I enjoyed them. I know you didn't like that they were more story-based.
Yeah, I was kind of going to get into that. So I prefer the older style of the Pokemon games where you're just kind of told where to go and a little bit of story. Whereas these ones, I feel like because it was fully 3D, they put a lot more effort into the cutscenes and the characters. And that kind of put me off the series for a little bit because I wasn't really that interested.
No.
Which I know you were and you really enjoyed them.
I do enjoy the story. Like, one of the problems I found, like, they got rid of Pokemon gyms.
Yeah, they replaced them with like
was
tasked things, didn't they?
The Island Challenge.
Island challenges.
I don't know.
I'm trying to mix the formula up a bit by this point, I suppose.
Yeah, I enjoyed the gyms before because they had their little quirks each. Like, you see them in HeartGold where they...
Oh, they really ramped it up in HeartGold compared to the originals.
Yeah, they revised it and they made it look more unique to each gym. Like, you could tell that
they were kind of like
gym without...
themed puzzles, weren't they?
Yeah.
Like puzzle rooms almost.
So, like, the flying one wasn't much of a puzzle. I mean, you can avoid the trainers by going on the invisible floor. There's Bugsy.
Yeah, the bug one where you're going on like a spider's web and you have to do that puzzle where you can tell which sort of path you're going to take.
Yeah, I wonder if I would have got it as a kid. I mean, it's easy.
There's only 3 options, even if you didn't understand it.
Yeah, you have to hit the switches as well.
Yeah.
I like the interaction with the Pokemon, so you can dry them and feed them.
That was something that was from X and Y originally, wasn't it? The Pokemon and Me.
Yeah.
That was a really cool addition. It's kind of like a little Tamagotchi in the game almost.
Yeah.
And they did improve it a lot, especially with Ultra Sun and Moon.
And it gave you perks with the Pokemon as well. If you befriend them more, they can cure paralysis and poison.
Yeah.
And then you get a cute little message like, it recovered from its poisoning because it didn't want you to feel sad. Like,
oh,
you should feel sad.
So I guess that's something they improved over time. Like you kind of get an idea of the different Pokemon's personalities, and you can kind of look after them and train them more. So that's a really nice thing about that series. Maybe I should try it again because, you know, talking to you now, it does seem like I kind of missed out if I just tried to ignore the story. So for the final games in the series, Pokemon Sword and Shield. She got Sword when it first came out and I got Shield. And once again, we played both these games side by side. We actually have our 2 TVs set up in the other room side by side so we can actually play them together. And it was a great time. I really enjoyed these. Again, it's a lot simpler than the older games used to be. It's a lot easier. But I like the environments, I like the way they designed the world in this one. I thought it all looked really nice. What did you think of Sword and Shield?
It was easy.
Yeah, it is easy.
It's
very, very easy. But I guess they're trying to make it more accessible and...
The open world of it though, like I mean, we knew it was...
It was a bit of a mixed bag, these ones were, weren't they?
We suspect that they made it for the 3DS
Yeah.
and not the Switch, and that's why it's not as big as it could have been. Because I've played the DLC.
Oh yeah, I haven't played the DLC, but
And-
I saw you playing it.
Yeah, that just feels way better than what the main game. It should have been part of the main game because it feels like what it should have been. Just like wild, huge. It could have been better.
Yeah, it feels like they were kind of torn between making a traditional Pokemon game and a more exploration-based game. But the way they did it in this, the exploration areas don't really have much to do apart from going from one place to the next, which was kind of just replacing the routes in the older games. So I think they could have done it a lot better, but I guess
I think it was great. It's a great step into it.
it's a transitional game, I suppose. So it'll be really interesting to see what they come up with next. So before we wrap this video up, we just want to talk about one more game in the series. This is Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu.
And which one did you get?
Whichever one you didn't want, which was... I can't remember. Pikachu! Of course.
My squished flappy.
So we both got the special edition with the Pokeball Plus.
Yeah.
Which was a cool way of actually playing the game because you could use it as a controller. So I think I played the entire game using it. So you have it on the TV, you can hold the Pokeball and you just click in because these are very much simplified games. Like incredibly simplified. There's only one button really.
Yeah.
So you could just play it by just pressing it in. So what did you think about Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu?
I thought that they did a good job in reimagining it. Like,
Yeah?
It's probably what I thought was going on when we first played Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Red. This was just what was in our heads.
Yeah, to be honest, they did do a really good job of recreating Kanto in full 3D. So at the time of recording this, there hasn't been any official announcement about Diamond and Pearl being re-released or remade.
Just rumours.
Just rumours at this point in time, but there might be a direct very soon, so maybe this will be outdated very quickly. But what would you like to see from a remake of Diamond and Pearl? And do you think they would go for the Let's Go style, or do you think they would go for Sword and Shield style?
What I would like...
What would you like?
I would like the huge expansion area that you have in Pokemon Sword, Shield, because that just feels good. Like, it's just what everybody's wanted from a Pokemon game. I just want it.
So you think Diamond and Pearl are going to be open world?
If they did that, that would be incredible, but it's a lot of pressure to do that, but
We'll see. I think that's the direction the series is going to end up in.
I think they can do it.
So I will definitely get Risu back on in the future to talk more about Pokemon. We're going to talk all about spin-offs next time, and there are a lot of them, so definitely look forward to that. So thank you so much for joining me today. It feels weird addressing you like that, considering we live together.
I know, it feels weird to saying that. Like, it's not like you can ask anyone else because of COVID. And...
I mean, yeah, no one else could really come on the channel at the minute, but thank you for being on here anyway. I do appreciate it, and I really hope you guys have enjoyed hearing her stories about the Pokemon series. So go and give her a follow over on Twitter, over on Instagram.
Yay,
Anywhere else you want to shout out?
Give me the numbers, like, maybe Twitch. You can sometimes catch me drawing.
Yeah, go and give her a follow over on
playing
Twitch as well.
Games that you don't play. Modern.
We've done some things together. We played Phasmophobia.
Oh yeah,
Remember that?
ooh, we did Plasma.
Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments below what some of your favourite memories are from the Pokemon series. That's it for now though. So don't forget to like this video, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. Am I forgetting anything?
And the bell, like,
That's
subscribe, comment.
Don't forget to ring the bell to get notifications whenever I release a video every single Friday. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next week for the next episode. Goodbye!